This video is about Victoria, a Toronto area school teacher who makes about $106,000 a year, and she's hoping to retire in 3 years' time at age 55. But she's got some concerns. She's got a lot of debt. So let's review the situation. Here we can see her net worth is growing over time. However, Victoria doesn't believe this graph because she likes to spend her money and she doesn't save the surplus. If we break this down a little bit, we can see her assets are here, her liabilities here. And if Victoria continues on the same path, she hopes to have all her debts paid off by the time she's age 88. If we look at her income assets, we can see here there is no savings. And as a matter of fact, she's going to have to borrow about $105,000 just to get through retirement. If we look at her cash flow, she's barely cash flow positive in this year. She's going to have a debt paid off next year, so we're starting to save a little bit of money. But then once retirement happens at age 55, we're negative, and there's just not enough money coming in. But how much are we short? I mean, we're short about $12,000. There's a car purchase here, short $21,000. We're short about $15,000 a year. Let's break this down a little bit, so we can see Victoria. She has a pension of about $64,000 a year. That includes CPP and OAS, so she's fortunate in that regard. If we see what she's spending money on, we can see lifestyle expenses. Vehicles is a big one, about $10,000 a year on vehicles. And we can see here debt payments about $26,000 a year. But really what we've got is we've got a cash flow problem, and we need to solve that. So one of the strategies is to look for high leverage strategies, and then once we've done that, we'll look at the lower leverage strategies, which are typically financial planning strategies. Let's answer Victoria's question about the condominium. Should she sell the condo and rent? Well, the condo's worth $350,000. There is a mortgage on that property of about $306,000. And what we can see is she's going to have that paid off in about 36 years, and she's going to pay about $200,000 in interest payments. But what Victoria needs to do is go out, find a rental property that she's happy with us, let us know what the rent would be, and then we can do a simple comparison side by side, and then Victoria will know. A couple other things Victoria might want to consider. She lives in Toronto, so what if she took TTC to work and didn't have the vehicle? So let's look at the no-car solution. I've always put in the figures and things. But we can see with no car and just using TTC, that really fixes up the cash flow problem, and Victoria would be fine. What if Victoria decided to do supply teach? So keep the car, but just supply teach and earn some extra income of about $30,000 a year. Well, again, cash flow is not too bad. We've got some surplus here, so we could start to save some of this money to offset these years. So we've looked at a couple high leverage solutions, and Victoria can retire. It's just a question of what kind of lifestyle changes she might want to make to be able to retire.